Sanding drywall is easily one of the most miserable chores in home renovation, but this thing makes it look almost too easy. When you first pick it up, you notice it has a bit of weight to it, which is expected for a motor this size, but the balance is surprisingly decent. It packs an 1150-watt motor that really doesn't mess around. You have 5 speed settings to play with, and honestly, you rarely need to crank it all the way up to that 1700 RPM mark, unless you are dealing with some seriously stubborn, thick paint or old, crusty putty. Most of the time, keeping it in the mid-range is plenty to get a smooth finish, without feeling like the tool is running away from you. What really stands out is how it handles corners. The head swivels 90 degrees and rotates fully, so you aren't constantly fighting the machine to get into those tight spots near the sealing line. And speaking of ceilings, that lead ring around the sanding disc is a massive help. It casts light right where you are working, which is a lifesaver because it highlights every single imperfection you might have missed otherwise. You don't have to drag a work light around or keep repositioning your gear, which saves a ton of frustration. Now, here is the reality of the dust collection. It does a solid job of pulling the mess into the bag, but don't expect it to be perfectly clean. You are still going to have some fine dust settle, so wearing a mask is non-negotiable. The shoulder strap is a nice touch for those longer sessions, especially when you are reaching up high, as it takes a good chunk of the strain off your arms. The telescopic handle is another smart addition, letting you stretch it out to nearly 6 feet, which means you can reach most standard ceilings without needing a ladder. When you're done, it folds down into a much smaller footprint, which is great if your garage or shed is already packed to the gills. If there is a downside, it is that the build feels a bit utilitarian. It is not a high-end, professional-grade tool that you would use for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, but for a DIYer or someone tackling a renovation project, it hits that sweet spot between price and performance. It is a bit loud, so definitely keep your ear protection handy. It is not perfect, but for the price, it turns a back-breaking job into something you can actually finish in an afternoon without feeling completely wrecked. If you have a room full of walls to prep, this is going to save you a lot of sweat.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.